Let's talk about Rambo 3. Now, the character of John Rambo, I thought you brought that out really, a lot of pathos and a lot of feeling in the first particular one. So you set the character up.
Right. You set the mood, and then on the second one, I tried to show what he really does, his specialty, as it were. He's a trained warrior, and he's asked to do favors, not for the military, but, you know, almost personal things. And in the third one, he's asked again to do a favor for the one person in this world that he loves, his father figure, the Colonel. And he gets himself into a little bit of a fix.
Okay, now, the character of Trautman, played by Richard Crenna, the guy's very often sort of stood back, very aloof. The guy's in his military uniform. You've done all the work. This time, he has to do a bit more.
I made him suffer. I said, this is it. As you get to the gym, you're going to be in serious pain this time. So finally he broke a sweat. I said he has to earn his living then.
After 14 movies now, you know, after, I guess, the innocence of Rocky 1, and you're through to 14 movies, are you jaded?
I think everyone gets a little jaded. You know, I guess it just comes with habit. Perhaps if I decided to go to law school tomorrow, you say, okay, here's a new profession, you approach it with enthusiasm. But with films, you get a little bit jaded. Luckily, we're entering into, I think, a new phase, and I'm going to start changing the films a little bit, so there'll be a little bit more challenge.
Right. And of course, especially with 2 and 3, they're so tightly edited. Nobody's got a chance to sort of say, hey, I feel like a coffee break now, you know, things are slack.
We cut all the bathroom scenes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one goes to the restroom and says, oh, you know, that's serious. There are certain scenes, like, for example, in Rocky 4, oh, I took great pride in writing. It's a sensitive moment. Rocky's emoting, and I see everyone run to the restroom. They say, well, come on, fight, get the fuck. I said, oh, gee. No, I learned my lesson. I said, okay, they don't want to hear me making a lot of speeches.
Because one of the most notable things, too, is the incredible use of choppers. I have never seen stunts like that, and you were involved in a pretty hair-raising stunt there.
Yeah, there was a lot of dangerous moves in choppers. People say, why don't you like flying? I said, because every time I get into something, it's on fire. Like we shot it, you know, you get a little phobia. But in this time, we were doing, for people who don't know, I go to Afghanistan, and so I'm on horses most of the time. And there was one stunt where the chopper, this huge Soviet chopper, was coming behind me, and the pilot had slightly miscalculated, and I turned around and it's literally level with the back of the horse. And I said, this is it. I'm now going to get the closest and last haircut of my life. Okay, and just the last second he comes up, and I went to talk, and you're looking at this, you know, like, I don't know, 15 tons of monster above you.
And it's a great chance to have a bit of humour as well with Trautman. I love that scene where you had to avoid a fireball, literally, right? And Trautman comes out and says, how do you feel?
So, well done. I know, you know, what are you going to say at this time? You say, well, okay, Colonel. I said, we've got to, you know, you've got to sit back and have a little lightness in this. And I think that's what I would like to do, is start to inject a little bit more humor, because people see me as this, you know, stone-faced Indian, how? And I said, no, I mean, that's the character. He is very serious, but as he goes on, his adventures, he gets lighter and lighter.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the amazing thing, I thought, with Rocky 1. It's very similar to me, the character, not so much the character portrayal, but the effect on the audience, is that we can really relate to that very easily.
That's the key. For me, if I can do one thing, is to try to get a universal problem or feeling, and so people can relate to it. And when it works, that's when people go to the films.
Do you think Vietnam vets relate to your movies? Especially, I found after the first one, it was very moving. Could they relate to that?
There's a lot of them, yes, that have pent-up frustration, and it was released through the film. Originally, in the book, see, I didn't write the original character. I inherited it, you might say, through the book. At the end, he's killed, and he's put out of his misery, and I thought, that's a very tragic ending, and also it could be emulated, copied by some of these guys, because there have been 250,000 suicides from Vietnam vets. So I said, okay, let's have Rambo go on. Even though he's still sad inside, it shows that there is hope, and a lot of Vietnam veterans have responded favorably.
Yeah, and of course, Trautman talks about going the full circle. In that opening sequence where Rambo's really trying to find himself, be at peace with himself. Is there a chance that he has?
Yeah. You know what it is? To find inner peace is what I call acceptance. You have to accept that you are a total man. It means that you're not always peaceful, that everything is always going to be wonderful. There are days when you wake up and you're kind of like this upset mood. You say, why am I upset? Everything is going, the sun is out, but you have this certain energy. So Rambo realizes that he also is, he is a warrior, but he's a warrior for good cause. And he was trying to deny that warrior side, and so I just want to be left alone. But there's a side of him that has to respond to a cause.
Could you find that inner peace? I mean, with all the pressure of media interviews, people's expectations, the criticisms, the same old stories, the same old questions coming up?
Well, I kind of like wax philosophic about it, and I realized that once I got this lucky and got this position, you are going to be under heavy bombardment, a lot of criticism, and your personal life is literally left out to blow in the wind. But that's part of it. I mean, I see it happening to a lot of my friends, and I see it happening to new people all the time. You change. There's no question. You change. Your ego gets out of whack. You're put in a different situation, and you got to be careful what you say, because you start to think you are the character. And you're not. You know, there's no way. So every now and then I have to go look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, you know, you bleed, you're human, you've got the same problems as everyone else, and I kind of bring myself down a little bit.
Okay, well, Stallone, the writer, does that, obviously. He sits down and does the things people can't imagine, so...
I know, it's funny, you know, people assume that I am like Rocky Tola, what are you doing? I said, that's a character, you know, John Rambo, it's a character, it's something that you pretend at, but lately it seems, oh yeah, they're the same. But not really, folks. I really don't run through the jungle chasing people. It's just I do that on weekends.
Okay, on that note, we've got to leave it, but thank you.
Oh, thank you. I hope next time to come to Australia, I get up country, or in country, or out of country,
Okay.
around the country.
Okay, thank you.